Have you ever wondered why, despite your deepest desires and countless efforts, some things just don't seem to change? Why the dreams you hold close feel so distant, as if trapped behind an invisible wall you can't break through? That invisible barrier isn't out there. It lives inside your mind. It's shaped by the words you whisper to yourself every single day. These words, often unnoticed, quietly control your thoughts, your feelings, and eventually your actions. The power to change everything you long for is already within you. It has been inside you all along, waiting patiently for you to discover it. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a garden. What you plant, nurture, and repeat grows strong and flourishes. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, or failure, those weeds will choke your dreams. But if you choose to plant words of hope, strength, and belief, you begin to cultivate a life of possibility. The voice inside you, the one that's constantly running, commenting, and reacting, is the gardener. This voice can either imprison you in limitations or set you free to live a life beyond what you thought possible. This is not just about thinking positive thoughts or saying empty phrases. It's about unlocking a powerful mental process that rewires your brain to believe in your potential and your worth. It's a force so profound that it shapes your reality without you even realizing it. Every day your mind accepts what you tell it, and it moves to prove those words true. If you feed your mind negativity, that is the reality you live. But if you learn to feed it truth, courage, and unwavering belief, your life will begin to shift in ways you never imagined. You might be thinking, is this really true for me? Can I actually change the way I think so deeply? The answer is yes. It doesn't matter where you are now or what you've been through. The moment you understand how to speak to your mind differently, you begin a journey of transformation. The beauty is that this power doesn't belong to someone else. It's yours. It's within your reach every time you choose your words carefully. Your future self is listening, waiting to be shaped by the voice you use today. By the time this video ends, you will have the knowledge to start changing your inner dialogue, to stop the thoughts that hold you back, and to begin creating a new path forward. This is your chance to take control of the story you tell yourself, the story that shapes your reality. Stay with me, because the secret to unlocking your potential is closer than you think. When you learn to harness this force inside, your life won't just change, it will transform. And the most incredible part, you will be the one who made it happen. This is not wishful thinking. This is the power of your mind waiting to be claimed. So, are you ready to discover it? What if I told you that the words you speak to yourself every day hold the power to reshape your mind, your emotions, and your entire life? This process, known as autosuggestion, is not just a concept. It is a living, breathing force that you can learn to use with intention. Autosuggestion means consciously feeding your mind with positive, powerful messages that steer your thoughts away from doubt and fear and toward strength and belief. The mind is not a passive vessel, but an active participant in shaping your experience. It listens, it learns, and it responds to what you tell it repeatedly. Imagine your mind as a radio receiver, constantly tuning into the messages you broadcast. If you fill your mental airwaves with negative, discouraging signals, your life will reflect that noise. But if you broadcast clear, confident messages of hope and possibility, your mind will align itself with those frequencies and bring forth the reality you desire. This is how autosuggestion works. It rewires the neural pathways in your brain, creating new patterns that reinforce your chosen beliefs. Science has shown that the brain is plastic, which means it is adaptable and constantly changing. The more you repeat a thought, the stronger its pathway becomes. Your thoughts literally shape the architecture of your brain. But here's the most profound truth. You have the power to choose what messages you send. You are the author of your own mind's programming. This is a deeply liberating realization because it means your past limitations, old fears, and ingrained doubts are not your destiny. They are simply old software running on your mental hardware, and you can overwrite them. The key is repetition with intention. It's not enough to hope or wish for change. You must consistently feed your mind with affirming truths that resonate deep within you. This daily practice, done with belief and feeling, begins to shift the very foundation of your identity. Your brain cannot distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you believe to be true. When you tell yourself powerful, positive affirmations, especially with emotion, you create new neural patterns that replace the old limiting ones. Over time, these new patterns become automatic. Your mind starts to anticipate success, resilience, and confidence, because that is the reality you have programmed it to expect. This is the secret behind the most successful people. Inside their minds is a script of unwavering self-belief and unstoppable determination, reinforced again and again through autosuggestion. Yet it's natural to resist this change at first. Your mind clings to familiar stories because they feel safe, even if they hold you back. But every moment you choose to speak differently to yourself, you chip away at those old narratives. The path to transformation is not about perfection, it's about persistence. Even if the new messages feel strange or unbelievable now, repetition will make them feel true. You are planting seeds for a future where your mind is your greatest ally. This process takes courage and dedication, but the reward is freedom, the freedom to become who you were always meant to be. You have already taken the first step by listening to these words. Now you can take the next steps by choosing your inner dialogue wisely. Speak with intention, speak with power, speak the truth of your potential. Your mind will follow, and your life will transform. The words you choose to believe are the foundation of everything you become. Your beliefs shape your perception, your emotions, and ultimately the actions you take. This is not a vague idea. It is a proven truth about how the mind works. When you deeply believe something about yourself, your brain acts on that belief. It filters information, directs your attention, and triggers emotional responses that support that view. If you believe you are capable, your brain searches for evidence that confirms your strength. If you believe you are unworthy, it magnifies doubts and fears. This is why belief is not just a feeling, it is the architect of your reality. Your mind creates a story about who you are, what you can achieve, and what you deserve. That story is not fixed. It is written and rewritten every day by the messages you accept or reject. Each thought you dwell on is a brick added to the foundation of your self-image. Negative beliefs act like cracks in that foundation, weakening your confidence and limiting your potential. Positive beliefs, no matter how small at first, repair those cracks and build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. This is why the process of autosuggestion is so powerful. It allows you to consciously rewrite your story, replacing old doubts with new, empowering truths. When you make a habit of feeding your mind positive affirmations, you are planting new seeds of belief. These seeds grow into new habits, new thoughts, and new ways of seeing the world. Your emotions respond to these beliefs as well. The mind does not separate thoughts from feelings, they are intertwined. When you say to yourself, "I am capable," and truly feel it, your body releases chemicals that support confidence and calm. This physiological response reinforces the new belief, making it easier to act in alignment with your goals. Over time, this feedback loop strengthens, turning hopeful thoughts into lived experience. But belief is not just about repeating words. It requires your full presence, your heart, your mind, and your body engaged together. This is the difference between empty phrases and powerful transformation. The words must feel real to you. You must feel the weight of the truth you want to create. This emotional connection activates deeper parts of your brain that hold memory and motivation. It pushes your mind beyond mere wishful thinking into active creation. When your feelings align with your words, autosuggestion becomes a force that changes the very chemistry of your brain, guiding you toward your highest self. Resistance is natural because your mind protects you from unfamiliar territory. Doubts may arise, old fears may resurface, and the voice of criticism might grow louder. But every time you choose to repeat your positive message, you weaken those fears. Each repetition is a victory, a declaration that you are choosing growth over comfort. This is where true courage lives, in the daily choice to speak differently to yourself, to hold on to belief when it feels difficult, to continue planting seeds, even when the soil seems hard. You are capable of creating profound change because your brain is built to learn, adapt, and grow. The key lies in the beliefs you nurture and the emotions you fuel. When you understand this, you hold the power to break free from old limits and step boldly into a new reality. Your mind is ready to follow where your beliefs lead. The question is, will you choose to lead it? That inner voice, the one that narrates your every thought, holds more power than you realize. It shapes your experience of life, your sense of worth, and your ability to overcome challenges. This voice can either become your fiercest ally or your greatest enemy. When it speaks words of doubt, criticism, and fear, it tightens the chains that keep you stuck. When it speaks words of encouragement, strength, and possibility, it opens doors to new horizons. The choice of how to listen and what to repeat is the most important decision you will ever make. Recognizing this voice is the first step toward change. Most people live in autopilot, unaware of the subtle messages they feed their minds every day. They accept self-limiting beliefs as truth because those beliefs are familiar and comfortable, even if they cause pain. But you have the power to become conscious of your inner dialogue. You can observe it without judgment, noticing the patterns that no longer serve you. This awareness is the doorway to freedom. When you understand the content and tone of your self-talk, you can begin to challenge and change it. Changing this voice requires intentional action. It means deliberately choosing the words you speak internally, not out of denial or forced positivity, but with honest belief and feeling. It's about crafting statements that align with your deepest truths and aspirations. These words are the seeds you plant in your subconscious mind. When repeated consistently, they grow roots, eventually replacing old, limiting narratives with new, empowering ones. This process rewires your brain and shifts your identity from the inside out. The mind is built to believe what it hears often. Repetition is the key that unlocks transformation. Every time you repeat an affirmation that resonates with your soul, you strengthen a new neural pathway. Over time, this becomes your default way of thinking. The negative thoughts lose their grip, and the positive beliefs take their place. This is how you change the story you tell yourself, the story that determines how you feel, what you do, and what you become. But repetition alone is not enough. The words must be felt deeply. The mind responds to emotion as much as it does to logic. When you connect your affirmations with genuine feeling, hope, determination, courage, you activate the emotional centers of your brain. This fuels the transformation with energy and conviction. It makes the new beliefs real, not just in theory, but in experience. This emotional charge compels you to act differently, to step into new behaviors that reinforce your growing sense of power and possibility. This is why self-awareness, intentional speech, repetition, and emotional engagement work together to create lasting change. They form a cycle of growth that lifts you from doubt to belief, from fear to courage, and from stagnation to action. Your inner voice becomes a source of strength that carries you through challenges and propels you toward your goals. You hold the pen to your inner dialogue. By choosing what to say to yourself, you decide the course of your life. This voice will shape your future. Make it a voice that builds you up, that encourages you to rise, that believes in your limitless potential. When you do, you step into the true power of autosuggestion. Every thought you allow into your mind creates a ripple effect, influencing not just your emotions, but your entire body and behavior. Your brain and body are connected in a dynamic dance, where what you think affects how you feel physically and mentally. When negative thoughts dominate, stress hormones rise, energy drains, and motivation falters. On the other hand, positive, empowering thoughts trigger the release of chemicals that boost mood, increase focus, and ignite a sense of possibility. This mind-body connection means that changing your internal dialogue is not just an abstract concept. It has tangible effects on your health, your confidence, and your ability to act. Recognizing this, you begin to see why autosuggestion is more than mere self-talk. It is a tool to reshape your very physiology. The repeated messages you send to yourself influence your nervous system, creating patterns of response that become automatic over time. If your mind expects failure, your body tenses, your heart rate rises, and your muscles tighten, signaling your whole being to prepare for defeat. But when your mind expects success, your body relaxes, your breathing deepens, and your muscles ease, preparing you to move forward with confidence. This cycle reinforces itself, creating a feedback loop that either strengthens your limitations or your potential. This is why the practice of autosuggestion demands consistency and emotional engagement. It's not enough to recite words mechanically. Your mind responds to conviction and feeling. The energy behind your affirmations acts like fuel, accelerating the change within your brain and body. When you infuse your words with sincere belief, your subconscious begins to accept them as truth. This leads to real shifts in how you perceive yourself and the challenges you face. You start to notice new possibilities, new strengths, and a growing resilience that carries you through adversity. Change does not happen overnight. The mind is cautious by nature, programmed to protect you from perceived threats, even if those threats are your own limiting beliefs. That protective mechanism can make it hard to adopt new ways of thinking. But with patience and persistence, the new messages grow stronger than the old. Every time you repeat your chosen affirmations, you chip away at the old mental barriers. This steady practice gradually rewires your brain's response patterns, replacing fear with courage and doubt with confidence. When your mind becomes your ally rather than your adversary, the way you approach life transforms. Challenges no longer intimidate you. Setbacks become opportunities to learn and grow. You carry a deep inner strength that radiates outward, influencing your decisions and actions. This transformation is real, measurable, and within your reach because it begins with the words you speak to yourself every day. Your inner voice is a powerful force shaping your reality. By mastering autosuggestion, you take control of that force. You create a foundation of belief that supports your dreams and fuels your journey. This is the moment to commit to that practice. Speak with intention, feel with conviction, and repeat with consistency. Your mind and body will follow, opening doors to a life you once thought impossible. This is the profound power you hold. Use it wisely. Your mind is the most powerful tool you will ever possess, yet it is also the most misunderstood. It is easy to underestimate the influence your thoughts have on your reality because they feel invisible and intangible. But every belief you hold, every message you tell yourself, reverberates through your brain and body, shaping your actions and your future. This is the true essence of autosuggestion, the conscious act of choosing your inner narrative and directing your mind toward the life you want to live. It is a practice of empowerment, a declaration that you refuse to be held captive by old doubts and fears. When you grasp the depth of this power, you begin to understand that transformation is not about waiting for external circumstances to change. It is about changing from within first. Your mind is the gateway through which every experience passes. If you shift your internal dialogue, you change how you interpret the world around you. Suddenly, obstacles become challenges to overcome instead of insurmountable walls. Failures become lessons rather than proof of defeat. Your perception shapes your emotions, and your emotions drive your actions. This is why the words you say to yourself matter more than anything else. Autosuggestion rewires your brain by repeatedly exposing it to new positive ideas about who you are and what you can achieve. The brain thrives on repetition. It is how habits form, how skills develop, and how identities solidify. When you repeat affirmations that emphasize your strength, resilience, and potential, those messages become embedded in your subconscious mind. Over time, they take root and begin to influence your decisions and behavior without conscious effort. This is the slow, steady power of autosuggestion. It turns deliberate thoughts into automatic beliefs. But the process demands more than just words. It requires full engagement, mind, heart, and body. When you speak affirmations, you must feel them as true. Feel the strength, the courage, the hope behind each phrase. Emotions act as catalysts, igniting the neural pathways that make your new beliefs stick. The brain does not simply register words, it registers feelings. This emotional charge is what transforms a statement from empty repetition into a powerful tool for change. It makes your mind believe the truth of what you say, even before the evidence shows up in your life. This practice also requires patience and persistence. Change does not happen overnight because your brain is designed to protect you from uncertainty. Old beliefs have a familiarity that feels safe, even if they limit you. But the consistent repetition of positive autosuggestions gradually replaces those old beliefs with new ones that serve your growth. Each time you repeat your chosen affirmations, you reinforce new patterns of thought and feeling, strengthening the mental muscles of confidence and courage. When you take control of your inner voice, you gain control of your destiny. Your thoughts become your allies, your emotions your fuel, and your actions your proof. This is not wishful thinking. It is a scientifically backed pathway to transformation. The power to rewrite your story lies in the words you choose to speak to yourself every day. Use them wisely. Speak with conviction. Believe in your potential. Your mind is listening, and your future is waiting to be shaped by your voice. The power of your mind to shape your reality depends entirely on the messages you allow to take root deep within. Every thought is like a seed planted in fertile soil, waiting to grow into something real. If you sow doubt, fear, and negativity, you cultivate a landscape filled with obstacles and limitations. But if you choose to plant seeds of belief, hope, and courage, you nurture a garden that flourishes with possibility and strength. This is why the quality of your inner dialogue matters so profoundly. It determines the environment in which your potential can either thrive or wither. Understanding this truth places an enormous responsibility in your hands. It means you are the gardener of your own mind, the caretaker of your mental landscape. You cannot control every external event or circumstance, but you can control the thoughts and beliefs you nourish. This control is the foundation of true freedom. When you commit to feeding your mind with positive, empowering suggestions, you begin to build a fortress against doubt and negativity. You create a mental environment that supports your growth rather than stifling it. This transformation starts by choosing your words carefully. Language has an almost magical quality. It shapes not just your thoughts, but your emotions and behavior. When you speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and conviction, your brain responds by creating pathways that reinforce those feelings. These pathways make it easier for you to feel confident, to take risks, and to persist in the face of difficulty. Conversely, harsh or critical self-talk triggers stress responses, lowers motivation, and narrows your sense of what is possible. The practice of autosuggestion invites you to become the conscious architect of this inner language. It calls you to repeatedly affirm your worth, your strength, and your ability to grow. This is not about blind optimism or ignoring reality. It is about choosing to focus on your potential and your capacity to overcome no matter what challenges arise. By consistently reinforcing these positive messages, you gradually retrain your brain to expect success instead of failure, opportunity instead of limitation. Emotions play a vital role in this process. The brain is wired to prioritize what feels significant, and emotion is the language it understands best. When you link your affirmations with deep feelings, hope, determination, passion, you activate powerful neural networks that embed these beliefs into your subconscious. This emotional charge gives your words weight and urgency, turning mere repetition into a profound force for change. Change requires dedication and patience because old beliefs are often deeply ingrained. Your mind resists what is unfamiliar because it equates change with risk. But each time you return to your chosen affirmations, you weaken the old neural pathways and strengthen new ones. This repetition builds resilience, a mental toughness that enables you to move forward, even when fear or doubt tries to pull you back. By mastering your inner dialogue through autosuggestion, you gain the power to transform not only how you think, but who you are. Your beliefs become the foundation for a new identity, one that is confident, capable, and unstoppable. This is the gift of consciously shaping your mind, the ability to rise beyond limitation and step fully into the life you are meant to live. Your mind listens, your future responds. Choose your words wisely and watch your world change. Every moment your mind is at work shaping your reality through countless unseen conversations with yourself. These inner dialogues are the blueprint of your life, quietly constructing the reality you experience day by day. The quality and content of these conversations dictate how you respond to challenges, how you pursue your dreams, and ultimately, how you define yourself. Understanding that you can actively shape this dialogue empowers you to reclaim control over your mind and your destiny. This power, often overlooked, is the secret to true transformation and lasting change. When you decide to harness autosuggestion, you step into a process of deliberate mental sculpting. You become the artist of your inner world, molding your thoughts with precision and care. This is no passive exercise. It demands intention, consistency, and emotional honesty. The words you choose must resonate deeply with your core, reflecting not just wishful thinking, but your authentic desire to grow and succeed. Each affirmation you repeat is a stroke of the brush, painting a clear picture of the person you are becoming. The brain's remarkable ability to adapt, known as neuroplasticity, is the mechanism that makes this possible. It thrives on repetition, forging new neural connections every time you reinforce a positive belief. The more you repeat empowering autosuggestions, the stronger these new pathways become, eventually overriding old limiting patterns. This rewiring reshapes not just your thoughts, but your emotions and actions. Your body begins to respond differently, preparing you to embody confidence and resilience rather than fear and hesitation. Emotion is the vital fuel in this transformation. The brain prioritizes information tied to strong feelings, embedding those experiences deeply in memory and behavior. When you attach genuine emotion, hope, courage, determination to your affirmations, you amplify their power exponentially. This emotional connection turns simple phrases into powerful catalysts for change, making your subconscious mind more receptive and engaged. The more you feel these affirmations as true, the faster they integrate into your identity. This process also challenges you to confront the resistance within. Change is often met with internal skepticism and fear because your mind is wired to protect you from uncertainty. Old beliefs cling tightly because they offer familiarity, even if that familiarity limits you. But with unwavering commitment to your chosen autosuggestions, you gradually weaken these mental barriers. Repetition chips away at doubt, while emotional engagement builds new foundations of confidence and belief. This dual force propels you forward, enabling transformation even in the face of inner conflict. By consciously directing your inner voice through autosuggestion, you reclaim the narrative of your life. You move from being a passive receiver of thoughts to an active creator of your mental landscape. This shift brings profound empowerment. Your mind becomes a source of strength rather than struggle. With every intentional affirmation, you lay the groundwork for a future shaped by courage, clarity, and unstoppable momentum. Your inner world transforms, and your outer world follows. This is the undeniable power of your words, your mind, and your will combined. Embrace it fully, for it holds the key to your greatest potential. The journey of mastering your mind begins with understanding that the words you repeat to yourself shape the architecture of your thoughts and beliefs. These repeated messages become the foundation upon which your identity is built. If your inner voice is harsh, doubtful, or limiting, it erects invisible walls around your potential. But if you choose words filled with hope, strength, and possibility, you build a bridge to the life you desire. This conscious choice to rewrite your internal script is the essence of autosuggestion, an active commitment to shaping your mental world with intention and care. Your mind is constantly seeking patterns and consistency. When you repeatedly affirm positive truths about yourself, your brain starts to accept these statements as reality. This process, fueled by neuroplasticity, allows you to replace old, unhelpful beliefs with new, empowering ones. It is not about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it is about deliberately focusing your mind on what you want to become, planting seeds of confidence and resilience that will grow stronger over time. Your mental environment transforms, making space for growth, courage, and success. But words alone do not carry this power without emotional connection. Your brain is wired to prioritize what feels important and urgent, and emotion is the language it understands best. When you say your affirmations with feeling, whether it is hope, determination, or belief, you charge those words with energy that ignites deep change. This emotional intensity makes your subconscious mind more receptive, allowing the new messages to embed themselves more firmly. The difference between empty repetition and transformative autosuggestion lies in this connection to feeling. It turns simple phrases into powerful, living truths that guide your actions and decisions. Consistency is the key that unlocks this transformation. The mind resists change because it is wired to protect you from uncertainty and discomfort. Old beliefs cling tightly because they are familiar, even when they hold you back. Every time you return to your positive affirmations, you chip away at these old patterns, slowly dismantling the mental barriers that have confined you. With each repetition, you build new neural pathways that strengthen your confidence and courage. This steady, persistent effort rewires your mind for success, even when doubt and fear try to creep back in. By taking control of your inner dialogue, you reclaim the power to define who you are and what you can achieve. Your thoughts no longer control you. Instead, you direct your thoughts with clarity and purpose. This shift brings profound empowerment. Your mind becomes a source of strength, creativity, and resilience. Each positive affirmation you speak is an investment in the life you want to create, a deliberate step toward becoming the best version of yourself. You hold the key to transformation in your own voice. Through autosuggestion, you can unlock doors that once seemed permanently closed. Your words have the power to reshape your identity and rewrite your future. Embrace this power fully. Speak with conviction and feel the truth of your affirmations deeply. Your mind listens and your reality responds. The path to your greatest potential lies within you, waiting to be awakened by the voice you choose to believe. Your mind is a powerful instrument, yet it is not always under your conscious control. It absorbs countless messages every day from the world around you and, most importantly, from yourself. These messages become the invisible forces steering your emotions, decisions, and actions. Recognizing this gives you a profound opportunity to take deliberate charge of these inner communications. When you choose to feed your mind with positive, empowering autosuggestions, you redirect your internal narrative and reshape the course of your life. This choice is both a radical act of self-love and a disciplined practice in mental mastery. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between imagined realities and external truths. It accepts as fact whatever you impress upon it consistently and with emotion. This means that your internal dialogue holds extraordinary power. It can be your greatest ally or your most destructive enemy. Repeatedly telling yourself you are capable, worthy, and resilient rewires your brain to embody those qualities. This is the secret science behind transformation. Your words create your reality by convincing your subconscious mind what to believe. When you internalize these beliefs, your actions begin to align naturally with them. For autosuggestion to be effective, your affirmations must feel real to you. The brain reacts not only to repetition, but also to emotional resonance. When your affirmations connect with your deepest desires and stir genuine feeling, whether it is hope, courage, or determination, they engage your neural circuits more powerfully. This emotional engagement accelerates the rewiring process, embedding new beliefs into your subconscious where they shape your habits, reactions, and self-image. Without this emotional charge, your affirmations remain hollow words, easily dismissed by your mind's defenses. The path to mental reprogramming requires patience and resilience because old beliefs are deeply rooted. Your mind is designed to protect you, often resisting change to avoid perceived threats. This resistance appears as doubt, fear, or distraction, attempting to pull you back into familiar limiting patterns. Each time you face this resistance and choose to return to your positive autosuggestions, you weaken these old neural pathways. Persistence in this practice is like steady waves eroding a cliff, gradually reshaping the landscape of your mind. Over time, this effort transforms your thought patterns from obstacles into stepping stones. By mastering autosuggestion, you reclaim the narrative of your life and redefine your identity. No longer a passive recipient of random thoughts, you become an active creator of your inner world. This shift unleashes immense personal power, allowing you to approach challenges with confidence and clarity. Your mind becomes a wellspring of strength, creativity, and unwavering belief in your potential. Every affirmation you consciously repeat is a brick in the foundation of a new, empowered self. The power to change your life lies in the words you speak to yourself. Choose them with intention and speak them with conviction. Feel the truth of your affirmations deeply and let them shape your reality. This is the essence of autosuggestion, a simple yet profound tool that can awaken the greatest potential within you. Your mind listens, your future responds, and your life transforms. Step fully into this power and become the architect of the life you are destined to live. Your mind is constantly listening. Every thought you think, every word you say to yourself, forms a quiet but powerful message that shapes your reality. This internal dialogue is not random. It is the foundation on which your beliefs and habits are built. When these messages are negative or self-limiting, they become invisible chains holding you back. But when you choose to replace them with positive, purposeful autosuggestions, you break those chains and build bridges to new possibilities. This conscious shaping of your mental landscape is the gateway to transformation, the key to unlocking your untapped potential. To harness this power, you must understand that repetition is the vehicle for change. The mind is like a garden that grows whatever seeds you plant. If you repeatedly plant seeds of doubt, fear, and failure, that is what will flourish. But when you consistently sow seeds of strength, belief, and hope, your inner world begins to bloom with confidence and clarity. The brain craves consistency and patterns. When you feed it with affirmations that affirm your worth, capability, and resilience, it rewires itself to reflect these truths. This rewiring is not instant. It requires time and persistent effort, but the results are profound and lasting. Emotion fuels this transformation. Your brain prioritizes what feels important and urgent, and emotion is the language it understands most deeply. When your autosuggestions evoke strong feelings, whether it's excitement for the future, pride in your progress, or calm assurance, you energize your affirmations and embed them more deeply in your subconscious. This emotional charge transforms your words from empty phrases into powerful forces that shape your identity. Without this emotional connection, affirmations risk becoming hollow repetitions that fail to engage the mind's full capacity for change. Resistance is inevitable on this path. Your mind's natural tendency is to protect you from discomfort and uncertainty by clinging to familiar thoughts and beliefs. This resistance manifests as doubt, distraction, or negative self-talk, attempting to pull you back into old, limiting patterns. Each time you meet this resistance and reaffirm your positive autosuggestions, you weaken the old neural pathways and strengthen new ones. This persistent practice is like sculpting your mind, slowly but surely transforming your internal landscape. It requires patience and courage, but the payoff is immense, a mind reprogrammed for success. Taking control of your inner voice is an act of profound empowerment. When you consciously direct your thoughts, you shift from being a passenger in your life to the driver. Your mind becomes a source of strength, creativity, and unwavering belief in your potential. Each positive affirmation you repeat is a deliberate step toward becoming the person you aspire to be. This shift opens doors to new opportunities and fuels the momentum needed to overcome obstacles. You begin to live in alignment with your deepest values and highest goals. The power to change your life lies within your own mind, through the words you choose to repeat. Speak with intention, believe deeply, and feel the truth of your affirmations. This is the essence of autosuggestion, a potent tool that transforms your thoughts, your emotions, and ultimately your reality. Embrace this power fully. Your mind listens, your future responds, and your life transforms in ways you once thought impossible. The journey to your greatest self begins now within the silent strength of your own voice. Every thought you entertain is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. These seeds grow into beliefs, habits, and ultimately shape the course of your life. If you remain unaware of this process, your mind will be guided by random, often negative influences, old fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs passed down or absorbed without question. But once you awaken to this truth, you gain the power to choose which seeds to plant. This is the profound power of autosuggestion, the intentional planting of positive, empowering thoughts that nurture the growth of your highest self. Your subconscious mind works silently, tirelessly accepting what it is fed. It does not judge or filter, it simply absorbs and builds. This means the thoughts and words you repeat regularly become your inner reality. If your inner voice is critical and doubtful, your mind will reinforce those patterns, creating an invisible prison that limits your possibilities. Conversely, if you deliberately feed your mind with affirmations of strength, worthiness, and capability, you construct a mental environment where growth and success can thrive. The choice is yours. What you focus on expands, and your mental garden will reflect what you nurture. This process is not merely about positive thinking, but about rewriting the deepest scripts of your identity. The mind holds beliefs not because they are true, but because they have been repeated and emotionally charged over time. Autosuggestion is the conscious intervention in this process. By repeating affirmations with conviction and emotion, you reprogram your subconscious to accept new truths. These new beliefs then influence your behaviors, reactions, and decisions, aligning your external reality with the empowered vision you hold within. This is how transformation moves from thought to reality. Emotional intensity is the fuel that accelerates this change. The brain responds most powerfully to messages that evoke strong feelings. When your affirmations stir genuine hope, courage, or determination, they bypass the mind's defenses and root deeply in the subconscious. This emotional resonance makes your autosuggestions not just words, but lived experiences. The more you feel the truth of your affirmations, the more your brain accepts them as real. This emotional connection turns repetition into transformation, forging new neural pathways that sustain lasting change. Persistence is the cornerstone of this practice because your mind naturally resists unfamiliar truths. Old beliefs feel safe because they are familiar, even when they cause pain or limit your growth. Doubt, fear, and distraction are part of this resistance, challenging your commitment to change. Every time you choose to return to your positive autosuggestions, you weaken these old patterns and strengthen new ones. This steady, unwavering dedication reshapes your internal landscape, replacing mental barriers with bridges to your potential. Owning your inner dialogue is an act of radical empowerment. When you take charge of the messages you repeat, you reclaim your identity and future. Your mind becomes a tool of creation instead of limitation. Every affirmation you declare is a deliberate step toward becoming your best self, opening doors to new possibilities. This power lies in your voice and your belief. Speak with intention, feel with conviction, and watch as your mind transforms, your actions align, and your life changes in ways you once believed impossible. The seeds you plant today will grow into the reality you deserve. The power to shape your reality starts with one undeniable truth. Your mind is the architect of your life. Every belief you hold, every feeling you embrace begins as a thought, a subtle command you issue to yourself. This command, repeated with focus and emotion, becomes the blueprint for your behavior, your choices, and the outcomes you experience. When you master this internal dialogue, you step into a realm of limitless possibility. You become the author of your destiny, no longer a passive observer, but an active creator. The responsibility may feel immense, but within it lies your greatest freedom. The unconscious mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It responds to vivid thoughts and feelings as though they are facts. This is why visualization and autosuggestion are so powerful. They bypass skepticism and plant new patterns deep within your psyche. When you consistently affirm your worth, your strength, and your capacity to overcome, your subconscious begins to align your actions with these truths. This alignment is not magic. It is the natural response of a brain designed to seek coherence between belief and behavior. Your inner voice is the conductor of this orchestra, directing each note toward harmony or discord. This transformation is not about ignoring reality, but about reshaping your perception to unlock hidden potential. When you replace self-doubt with self-belief, fear with courage, and hesitation with determination, you create an inner climate where growth is inevitable. Your thoughts become the fertile ground where confidence and resilience take root. This shift is subtle but seismic. It changes how you respond to challenges, how you pursue goals, and how you see yourself in the world. The mind, once conditioned by limitations, becomes a powerful ally in your journey toward greatness. Emotion is the catalyst that breathes life into your affirmations. The brain encodes memories and beliefs more deeply when they are charged with feeling. Without emotional engagement, words remain abstract and powerless. But when your affirmations stir your heart, when they ignite passion, hope, and a burning desire for change, they transform into compelling truths that your mind accepts without resistance. This emotional resonance fuels your motivation, making it easier to sustain the discipline and focus required to reprogram your subconscious. Feeling your affirmations as reality is the secret to making them stick. Resistance will arise because your old mental patterns crave familiarity.